In 2025, privacy isn't just personal, it's power. We live in a world where everybody's watching, everybody's talking, and everybody's scrolling. One wrong word, one careless post, one open secret, and they'll use it to break you. The problem, most of us give away too much of ourselves, for attention, for validation, for nothing. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 things you must keep private if you want to stay strong, untouchable, and respected in this world. You ever notice how the loudest people in the room usually got the least to show? They talk, and they talk, and they talk about what they're about to do. They make announcements, they make promises, they make noise. But here's the truth. Nobody respects noise. People respect results. Your next move, your next step in life, that is your power. And the moment you put it out there, you invite the world to touch it, to doubt it, to sabotage it, and sometimes to take it. You think everybody wants to see you win? No. Some people are waiting for you to tell them your plans just so they can hope you fail. I'll tell you this. When I was young, I learned real quick that the man who moves in silence holds the advantage. Because silence, it protects you. Silence keeps people guessing. When nobody knows what you're doing, they can't prepare against you. They can't copy you. They can't block you. They can't poison what they don't see. See, a lot of people get excited about their dreams, about their goals, about their vision. And what do? They run to Instagram, they run to TikTok, they run to their friends and say, "This is what I'm about to do. This is the big move I'm making. Watch me." And for a moment, they feel good. They feel validated. But what happens after? The energy fades. The excitement dies down. And now, instead of chasing the goal, they're chasing approval. Your future doesn't need an audience. It needs discipline. It needs consistency. It needs quiet focus. Imagine planting a seed. If every day you dig it up to show people how it's growing, what happens? You kill it. That's what happens to your plans when you expose them too soon. The greats are the powerful, the unstoppable. They don't broadcast, they build. They don't announce the foundation. They reveal the skyscraper when it's already standing tall. That's how you shock the world. Not with words, but with undeniable results. People love to predict you. They love to say, "I know what he's doing. I know where he's headed." Don't give them that satisfaction. Confuse them. Keep them in the dark. Let them underestimate you. Because the moment you show up, the moment you deliver, the moment you win, it'll be too late for them to catch up. Now, some of you may say, "But Denzel, I just want to share my vision. I just want to tell the people I trust." And I'll tell you, be careful. Even those closest to you might not be rooting for you the way you think. Some might doubt you. Some might envy you. And even if they love you, their words, their doubts, their fears can infect your confidence. And once your confidence is shaken, your future becomes shaky too. So what do? You protect it. You guard your next move like it's treasure. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to explain it. You need to work it quietly, consistently, relentlessly, until one day you step out into the light and the world sees the results they never expected. Your next move is not for them. It's for you. There's a reason they say the most dangerous thing you can put in the wrong hands is your heart. Because when people know the details of your love life, when they know the ins and outs of your relationships, they know where to hurt you. They know your weaknesses. They know exactly how to distract you, how to discredit you, how to divide you. Your love life is not a stage for the world. It's not a headline for gossip. It's not entertainment for friends, strangers, or social media. It's your sanctuary. And when you turn your sanctuary into a spectacle, don't be surprised when people treat it like a circus. I've seen it too many times. Folks get into a new relationship and the first thing they do is announce it to the world. Post it, flaunt it, show it off. And maybe it feels good for a while, like validation, like proof that you're loved, proof that you're wanted. But what happens when the arguments come? What happens when the struggle starts? Now the same audience you invited is watching you fall apart. And some of them, they're enjoying the show. The truth is, people don't always want to see you happy. Some people are only clapping because they're waiting for the curtain to drop. And when it does, they'll be the first to whisper, the first to laugh, the first to spread your pain like wildfire. That's why your love life should be private. Not hidden, not a secret, but sacred. What's sacred isn't for everybody, it's for the 2 people living it. The more voices you allow in your relationship, the more cracks you invite. Friends, family, outsiders. They all bring opinions, they all bring perspectives, they all bring energy. And too much outside energy can suffocate something that was meant to grow naturally between two people. Think about it like this. A relationship is a fire. At the beginning, it's just a spark. It needs air, it needs fuel, but it also needs protection. If you expose it to the wind too soon, it dies out. That's what happens when you share every detail of your love life too early, too often, with too many people. You're letting the wind blow out what could have been a powerful flame. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing weak about love. Love can be your greatest strength. It can give you purpose, it can ground you. It can push you to levels you never thought possible. But when you let the world get involved, that strength can turn into weakness. Suddenly, your private battles become public. Suddenly, the bond between you and your partner is no longer yours. It's being judged, criticized, and dissected by people who don't even matter. You got to protect it. Protect your love life the way you protect your future. Protect it from envy. Protect it from gossip. Protect it from interference. Because when you keep it private, you keep it pure. And purity is rare in this world. Understand this. Powerful people don't brag about who they're with. They don't parade their love for attention. They let the relationship speak for itself. They let the bond grow behind the scenes. And when it's strong, when it's unshakable, that's when it can withstand the eyes of the world. Until then, you build in silence. You love in silence. You protect what matters because once it's tainted, once it's exposed, it's hard to get that purity back. Your love life is not for everybody's eyes. It's for the one you share it with. And if you want it to last, if you want it to be powerful, you'd better learn to guard it with everything you've got. Money. Let's talk about it. It's one of the most powerful forces in this world. And at the same time, it's one of the most dangerous. The way you handle your money, the way you build it, the way you protect it. This is something that should never be on display for the world to see. Because the moment people know exactly what you have, or what you don't have, they start calculating how to use it against you. See, money is not just currency, it's leverage. And when you allow the wrong people to peek into your finances, you hand them the keys to your leverage. You're telling them where your strengths are, and more importantly, where your weaknesses are. Maybe you're doing well, maybe you're struggling, but either way, when you put it out there, you invite judgment. And judgment often comes with envy, manipulation, and exploitation. Too many people fall into the trap of flaunting. They get a little success and they want to show it off. New car, new watch, new house, posted everywhere, tell everybody. But here's the truth, real wealth moves in silence. The richest people you'll ever meet don't scream about it. They don't brag about it. They protect it, they grow it, and they let their actions speak louder than their possessions. The flip side is just as dangerous. Maybe you're struggling financially. Maybe you're trying to figure things out. You think being open about it will make people understand, maybe even help. But more often than not, what you'll attract is pity, gossip, and opportunists. Because once people know you're vulnerable, they'll treat you differently. They'll put you in a box, a category. Some will even try to control you because they see you're in need. The problem is once you put your financial situation out there, you can't control how it's used. Friends, family, coworkers, everybody suddenly feels entitled to an opinion about your money. They'll tell you how to spend it, what to invest in, who to help, and who not to help. And if they know you have something, trust me, some of them will start planning how to get a piece of it. This is why in 2025, you got to be smarter than ever. Information spreads fast. One post, one conversation, one slip, and suddenly everybody knows more than they should. Privacy is power. If you want to build, if you want to grow, you need to protect your financial information like it's gold, because it is. You don't need the world to validate what you're earning. You don't need approval for how you're saving or spending. That's your business and your business alone. Think about it like this. A bank doesn't leave its vault door wide open for anybody to peek inside. It's locked, sealed, heavily guarded. Why? Because what's inside is valuable. Your financial situation is your vault. Stop leaving the door open. Stop letting everybody peek in and make assumptions about your worth. Because your worth is not defined by what they see. It's defined by what you're building behind closed doors. When you stay quiet about your money, you stay in control. You decide who needs to know, and most of the time, that list should be very short. People will respect you more for your discipline than they ever will for your display. And when you finally move, when you finally achieve what you've been building in silence, that's when it hits different. because you didn't need the noise. You didn't need the validation. You just needed the vision and the discipline to execute it. The most dangerous thing you can give away in life is your next move. The moment people know what you're about to do, they start preparing for it. They start calculating. They start finding ways to either block it, copy it, or twist it. And that's why in 2025, you need to guard your next step like it's sacred. See, too many people kill their dreams before they even get started. Not because they didn't have the talent, not because they didn't have the discipline, but because they opened their mouth too early. They told the wrong person about their idea, about their plan, about their vision. And instead of support, they got doubt. Instead of encouragement, they got envy. Instead of momentum, they got resistance. And that resistance didn't come from their circumstances. It came from the people who were never supposed to know in the first place. There's a power in silence. There's a force in moving without making noise. Think about chess. The game is not won by announcing your every move. It's won by strategy, patience, and precision. The opponent doesn't see it coming until it's too late. That's how your life has to be. Every move you make should come as a surprise to the people watching. They shouldn't be able to track your steps like a map. Because when they can predict you, they can control you. I've seen it too many times. Someone says, I'm going to start this business, and suddenly they've got 20 voices telling them why it won't work. Someone says, I'm moving to this city, and the negativity floods in, convincing them to stay where it's safe. Someone says, I'm about to make this investment, and all of a sudden they've got people trying to talk them out of it, or worse, trying to beat them to it. That's the cost of revealing your next move. You got to understand, not everybody around you wants to see you win. Some people only clap when you are at their level. The moment you try to rise, the moment you try to break free, that's when you see their true colors. So if you give away your next move, you're allowing them to sabotage you before you even get started. In 2025, the world is moving fast, and information travels at the speed of light. Your idea today could be stolen tomorrow if you don't protect it. Your dream could be turned into someone else's blueprint if you don't move in silence. That's why your next move has to be like a shadow, unseen, unnoticed, but always advancing. When you act without broadcasting, you keep control. You keep your power. Because nobody can stop a move they can't see. By the time they realize what you've done, it's already too late. You've already executed, you've already achieved, you've already moved past the stage of talking and entered the stage of results. And results don't need explanation. Results don't need validation. Results speak louder than any announcement you could ever make. Your next move should be your secret weapon. Hidden, guarded, protected. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't owe anybody an update. You don't owe anybody your strategy. The people who are meant to benefit from your move will see it when it's time. The people who don't need to know should never know, because silence isn't weakness. Silence is a strategy, and strategy wins wars long before the battle even begins. One of the most sacred things you need to protect in 2025 is your family and your inner circle. See, we live in a world where everybody wants to put their life on display. Social media has turned privacy into a performance. People feel the need to broadcast every dinner, every vacation, every conversation, every hug. But when you put your family and your inner circle out there, you expose them to forces you can't control. And once something is out there, you can't pull it back. The truth is, not everybody watching you has good intentions. Some people look at your family not with admiration, but with jealousy. Some people see your happiness as a target, not as inspiration. And you don't want to invite that energy into the lives of the people you love most. They didn't sign up for the spotlight, and they don't deserve the judgment, the gossip, or the envy that comes with it. Your family, your close friends, those are your foundation. That's the circle that keeps you grounded when the world is trying to pull you in every direction. And if you start exposing that circle to outside opinions, outside criticism, outside drama, you weaken the bond. You weaken the very thing that gives you strength. That's why wise men and women keep their family life private. Not because they're hiding anything, but because they're protecting everything. Think about it. When you share too much about your relationships, people feel like they have the right to comment on them. Suddenly, strangers have an opinion on your spouse, your children, and your parents. Suddenly, outsiders think they know what's best for your household. And all it takes is one careless rumor, one cruel comment, one false narrative to plant doubt, to plant division, to plant poison where there should only be unity. You have to understand what's private is powerful. When you keep your family matters in-house, you control the narrative. You protect the energy. You make sure that what's sacred stays sacred. Because once you let the world in, the world will start taking pieces of what belongs only to you. Your inner circle is the same way. The people who truly ride for you, the ones who have seen you at your lowest and celebrated you at your highest. They don't need validation from the outside world. They don't need applause. They don't need recognition. The bond you share with them is not for show, it's for survival. And when you protect that, you give your inner circle the respect it deserves. In 2025, with the digital world moving faster than ever, there's a trap waiting for you, the trap of exposure, the trap of oversharing, the trap of thinking that if it's not posted, it didn't happen. But I'm here to tell you, the most valuable things in your life are the ones nobody sees. The conversations that never leave the room, the laughter around the dinner table, the trust you build behind closed doors. That's the real wealth, and you protect it by keeping it private. If people want to know about you, let them know through your work, through your discipline, through your impact. But when it comes to your family and your closest circle, they should only see what you choose to show, and that should be very little. Because peace is found in privacy. Strength is built in silence. And love, real love, doesn't need an audience. One of the greatest mistakes people make in this modern age is announcing their next move before they've even taken the first step. They tell the world what they're planning, what they're dreaming, what they're building, as if speaking it out loud is the same as doing it. But the truth is, when you reveal your plans too early, you invite resistance before the foundation is even laid. You open the door for doubt, criticism, envy, and even sabotage to slip inside and weaken what hasn't had the chance to grow strong yet. Your future is a seed. It starts small, fragile, and easy to crush if handled carelessly. If you plant that seed in the open, in front of everyone, people will trample it without even realizing the damage they've done. But if you plant it quietly, nurture it in silence, protect it from the outside world until it grows roots, that seed has a chance to become something mighty, something unshakable. That's why the wise keep their next move close to the chest. In 2025, this lesson matters more than ever. We live in a time where everyone feels pressured to share, to announce, to declare. People think they have to let the world know what they're working on. Otherwise, it doesn't feel real. They post about the businesses they're starting, the projects they're planning, the risks they're about to take. But here's the hard truth: talking doesn't build. Talking doesn't create. Talking doesn't secure your destiny. Execution does. Discipline does. Silence does. Understand this. When you speak your plans too soon, you hand over the power of those plans to other people. And not everybody clapping for you is clapping because they want you to win. Some clap because they want to know when to step in your way. Some clap because they're waiting for you to fail. The more people you let into your blueprint, the more vulnerable you make yourself. Think about chess. The master never shows his opponent his strategy. He doesn't announce the move he's about to make. He studies the board, he calculates, he keeps his intentions hidden until the moment of execution. That's how he wins. And life is the same way. Your plans are your strategy, they're your playbook. Don't hand them over to people who haven't earned the right to see them. When you move in silence, you rob negativity of its chance to interfere. You don't allow doubt to seep in. You don't allow jealousy to attack what it cannot see. Instead, you prepare quietly, you grind quietly, and then you arrive so strong, so undeniable, that by the time the world sees your move, it's already done. It's already too late for them to stop you. Let people see the results, not the blueprint. Let them witness the outcome, not the process. Because the process is sacred, the process is fragile, and the process deserves your protection. When your plans are hidden, they have room to breathe, to grow, to evolve without distraction. But when your plans are public, they become subject to opinions, interruptions, and unnecessary pressure that can derail your progress. Your next move is your power. Your plans are your treasure. Don't give them away too early. Keep them locked, keep them private, and reveal them only when the time is right. When the seed has already broken through the soil, when the foundation is already unshakable, when the move is already made, because strength is not in the announcement. Strength is in the execution. There's one thing more dangerous than the enemies outside, and that's the battles raging inside of you. In 2025, the world is louder, faster, and more judgmental than ever before. Everybody's watching, everybody's talking, and everybody's pretending like they've got it all together. But here's the truth. Nobody has it all together. Every man, every woman, every leader. Every fighter has weaknesses, has struggles, has demons they're wrestling with behind closed doors. And the real mistake is thinking you have to put those struggles on display for the world to see. Your inner battles are not meant for the public stage. They're not trophies. They're not badges to show off for sympathy or attention. They're lessons. They're teachers. They're private wars designed to make you stronger. But too many people expose their wounds before they've even had a chance to heal. They run to social media, to friends, to strangers, laying out every detail of their pain, every crack in their armor, hoping someone will fix it for them. But when you expose your weaknesses like that, you don't get strength. You get exploitation. You don't get healing, you get judgment. Understand this. When the world knows your weakness, it knows how to break you. When the world sees your struggle, it knows where to aim. That's why you've got to protect it. Not deny it, not ignore it, but protect it. Because your inner struggles are sacred. They're the battlegrounds where you grow into the person you're supposed to be. And no one else has the right to interfere in that fight. When you fight your battles in silence, you give yourself the chance to rise without interference. You create space for resilience to be born, for wisdom to grow, for faith to deepen. Weakness is not a curse, it's a compass. It shows you where you need to improve, where you need to discipline yourself, and where you need to dig deeper. But weakness only transforms into strength when it's handled with respect and privacy. If you hand your weakness to the wrong person, they won't build you up, they'll tear you down. If you hand your struggles to the wrong crowd, they won't guide you, they'll gossip about you. Think about the strongest leaders, the most unshakable individuals you've ever known. They didn't broadcast their battles. They didn't post their pain for validation. They took it to God, to themselves, to the discipline of the grind. They wrestled in private, and they came out stronger in public. That's how warriors are made. That's how champions are built. Not by avoiding struggle, but by mastering it quietly until the strength speaks louder than the weakness ever could. In this new era, where oversharing has become a habit, protecting your weaknesses is a form of power. Silence becomes your armor. Self-control becomes your shield. And the work you put in behind the scenes becomes your sword. You don't owe the world an explanation for your pain. You don't owe strangers an inside look at your battles. You owe yourself the discipline to fight, to endure, to learn, and to rise without needing an audience to clap for your struggle. Because your inner struggles are not for the world to consume. They're for you to overcome. Your weaknesses don't define you, they refine you. And the only way to turn them into power is to guard them, respect them, and keep them private until they've been transformed into strength. So now you've heard the 7 things you must keep private in 2025. Your vision, your financial moves, your family's business, your next steps, your weaknesses, your intimate life, and your inner struggles. These aren't just random pieces of advice. These are shields. These are weapons. These are the lessons that separate those who get played by life from those who learn how to play life with wisdom and power. See, we live in a world where everybody's trying to show everything, prove everything, share everything. They're addicted to attention, they're desperate for validation, and they think exposure equals strength. However, the truth is that power resides in privacy. Respect lives in restraint, and your destiny is built in silence long before it's revealed in the spotlight. The people who survive, the people who rise, the people who command respect, they understand the value of mystery. They don't let the world read their every thought. They don't let strangers direct their moves. They don't let critics get a front row seat to their struggles. They guard their lives the way a king guards his crown, the way a soldier guards his weapon, the way a lion guards its territory. And let me tell you something, it's not about being secretive out of fear. It's about being disciplined out of wisdom. Because not everyone who smiles at you wants to see you win. Not everyone who asks about your journey deserves to know your path. Not everyone who listens to your weakness has the strength to help you carry it. Some things were never meant for the public. They were meant for you, for God, for the fire of growth behind closed doors. So as you step forward into this year, remember this. Don't waste your energy proving yourself to people who don't matter. Don't waste your breath explaining yourself to people who don't care. Don't waste your spirit exposing yourself to people who can't understand. Protect your mind, protect your vision, protect your family, protect your peace, because that's where your true power lies. And when the time is right, when the work is done, when the struggle has turned into strength, you won't need to announce it. You won't need to beg for recognition. The world will see it, the results will speak for themselves, and the legacy will prove it. Power is quiet. Greatness is private. And in 2025, the strongest move you can make is to keep some things to yourself.